Hello, everyone. It is Friday, January 4th, 2019. Happy new-ish year, everybody. This is kops office hours. We have some new people, so welcome. And we have a couple of things on the agenda. We have one thing which I put on there, which is just a sort of quick update on progress and with our releases, and then someone else put a PR about external egress, so we'll cover that in a minute. I'm just checking whether something has been mentioned yet. There is a recommended update coming, although I don't think it's particularly important for kops users. It's supposed to have landed right now, but I haven't seen any news about it yet. But it's not too bad, I don't think. So keep an eye out for that later on. I believe kops will suggest an update, but it's not actually particularly critical for kops users, I don't think. We do have some kops releases that are done. We have 1.10.1, we have 1.11.0. Both of those are out, and we are working on 1.12 alpha 1. We've talked a lot about trying to get this into a much more automated and faster pattern, and so the hold up on 1.12 alpha 1 is that we're trying to get it basically almost entirely automated. And so there are a couple of PRs that I've linked to, which will basically make that a much easier and more automated and, in theory, community process. Like right now, the process is not very community, I would say. It's that I have to do the builds, and it's when I say so, and that's not really what we want. But we've sort of been held up by technical considerations, and we are addressing those technical considerations, I guess. So there is an open PR which says mark 1.12.0 alpha 1, and we basically we will hopefully merge that, and then there will be a automated job, a proud job, which will build the release binaries from that into I think it's a GCS bucket, but it's just the same way that we do all our CI builds and are built automatically to a GCS bucket. And then those are all going to be public and continuously built. Anyone can pull one of those anytime. But then we will have a process by which we promote one of those builds to be a real build, or sort of a released build, which basically should be just copying the binaries from the bucket, from the CI bucket to GitHub and to a more trusted bucket. And I'm gonna start off with a script, which I will probably still have to run manually, but the intention is that we will get that to be a script which will be triggered by probably a signed tag, or maybe a signed git tag, or maybe a special commit in a different repo, which is basically basically says this is the release. So some form of indication like that, but we're getting there. So 1.12.0 alpha 1 should be soon, but there are some blockers. There are some things we're trying to get sorted out first. But hopefully 2019 will be the year of automated builds for kops. Yay, I know, exactly. All right, if there's nothing else on that, I will move on to the next item. I don't know who put this on the agenda, but there is a link to the external egress PR.
Hey, this is Arjun. I put the PR in. So we've been working at Vibrant Health on a couple of clusters that we put up with kops, and just for a variety of reasons, we need to move the egress controls into AWS and let AWS do its thing and let other security tools do it. So we found this external egress PR that I think you, Justin, had started. We fixed it up for 1.11, and we were hoping to get it in for 1.11. With 1.11 out, we're now trying to make sure it gets merged for 1.12, so we can kind of get back onto the main line. I believe all the requirements of that PR have been met, but we just need somebody to take a look, and we're just not sure what to do to
you broke up a bit at the end there, at least for me, but I presume it's what can we do to get this merged?
Exactly.
Yeah, I personally am very much in favor of it, but I think other people were less in favor of it. I don't know if any of the other kops maintainers on the call want to comment on the idea or the PR. We have a no self-ALGTM rule, so, and in general, we want to make decisions, particularly on APIs as a group.
Totally understand.
Rodrigo, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this.
I haven't actually looked at it. Let me go look at it after the call today.
Yeah, it's basically, we currently have egress lets you specify, I think, a NAT gateway, an existing NAT gateway. And this would be another magic value in there, which basically turns off kops handling of egress and just says, I'm going to take care of it. So I presume you have to set up an existing subnet or maybe go in afterwards and fix it up. But
yeah, exactly. There was some security changes that the security team went in and made, and so we don't want that blown away when kops goes back to it.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll go take a look at it as soon as this call's done. I'm assuming it's just pretty much like the egress flags today.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty simple.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it would be nice, like in general, I think cluster API, which we mentioned before we started recording, is also like grappling with some of these things, which is like, how do you like encompass the variety of configurations that people want in the real world without essentially reproducing it. And I think this is a nice compromise between the idea that a lot of people just want it to just work, but a lot of more advanced users want to set their own settings. Looking at Rodrigo there. Okay. Well, yeah. I think we should tag Rodrigo, and I guess Mike is another good one to have a look at that. Although I don't see him today.
Okay, I'll tag them in the comment.
Perfect. Thank you. There's nothing else on our agenda. We have a light agenda for the beginning of 2019. I don't know if there are other things that people want to talk about or whether we are going to call it early, very early. All right, well, that I will do my going. I will just say I'm hoping to get mirror support in today, but go ahead.
I think my internet connection is really unstable. It's okay. I'll ask you later.
Okay. All right. You can also try trading in chat if you really want to, but otherwise we can definitely cancel or stop the meeting now and give everyone lots of their Friday back. All right. 112 stability. For kops 112, it's an alpha, but I believe it to be fairly usable. We've certainly been testing it and it seems fine. We've certainly been EDE testing it and it seems fine. The biggest blocker is that we, as part of the etcd roadmap, want to get etcd manager going, which is not necessarily fully baked yet. There are like 2 or 3 items that's left on the list still. Kubernetes 112 seems to be a good release as far as I can tell, perhaps a little bit more stable than Kubernetes 111. Like Kubernetes 111 has only just had some important cherry picks which only just got released, but they were already in 112. So from that point of view, 112 seems better. I don't know if anyone else has any experience.
Kops with 112 for about a month now, and it's been fine. The one thing I had to do is, unfortunately, I did have to turn off etcd manager and fall back to the legacy mode. I haven't had time to go debug what caused those failures yet. But yeah, besides that, everything was fine.
I mean, the really big thing with etcd manager is it doesn't support TLS yet at all. So we definitely have to get that in.
Yeah. My TLS is off, but even then, it's still having issues. So.
Okay. Yeah. I think you had an issue open, which I'm going to have a look at. I just have to get. And then Arjun asked in chat, would 111 kops with Kubernetes 112 be a better path? The general answer is you should try to avoid using an earlier version of kops with a newer version of Kubernetes, because when a flag changes, we only put that in like the correct flags for kops for Kubernetes 112 are only in kops 112 and higher. So when we have 112 alpha 1 cut, it should be good. But actually, I think in this case, 111.0 is probably close enough, given how recently 111.0, kops 111.0 was released. But in general, that is not the case. All right, if there's nothing else, then I wish everyone a very happy Friday and a wonderful weekend. And thank you all for joining, and see you in 2 weeks.
Have a great one. Happy New Year's, everyone.